Hey guys, how's it going? I'm gonna shut my fan off here. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's well. Hi Tammy, hi Silicone, hi like I'm gonna scroll up. Cook. Tinksy, my little sweet fairy. Betty, Raleigh, Maddie, BB, my girl, and of course my friend here on panel, Teresa. Um, Teresa's up here because she's like really good with like following true crime. We're going to talk about that after. But the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is this Coach Eli situation. Okay. Now, um, do I have opinions? Yes, I do. Have I kept my mouth pretty much shut about him? Yeah. Um, because I didn't want to waste my breath on the guy. I'm going to be honest. Gonna be honest. Hey, Bracket. Hey, Eddie. Virginia. Hey, sweetheart. But you know what? I mean, I see him open his mouth and insert his foot every day out here. Every day. You smurf Bob, Johnny. uh, but I see him pulling shenanigans every day. It's like, um, he is always, I'm not about drama. I'm trying to do this. But all he does is fight with people. He can't get in a group of people without putting his foot in his mouth and saying some really inappropriate things or just things that are way out of line. And he can't own it when he does it. Let's be honest. Hey, hippie, good to see you, beautiful. And I know you're not really familiar with him, Teresa, because you're true crime, all true crime.
Right.
But I mean, the stuff he says, oh my gosh. I'm going to be honest. I thought, like, when I first stumbled upon him, I didn't know what I was stumbling into, you know, what I was walking into. And I thought, oh, this guy's positive, right? And you know me, I'm like, oh, shiny positive, somebody who's positive. And I was like, oh, I'm going to sub and I'm going to, you know, um, and I thought he wasn't about drama. And then it was like, I was there a couple times. He gave me a wrench. I wrenched for him for a few months, but I'd go, like, I wouldn't go there all the time, but in and out. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like floating to true crime places, you know how you do that. Hey, Aussie Outlaw, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you, you Farker. He, whoa, he called you a mass shooter, really, Johnny? Oh my gosh. Okay, that was some cringy stuff. I mean, some of the stuff he says is cringy, and I didn't realize how he couldn't take any criticism, any at all. Bill. And it was, you can't say anything like the. Have you ever modded for somebody who just like they do a lot of cringy stuff, and then you're like, yeah, that's probably not what you want to say.
Yeah, I have.
And then you're like, oh my gosh. Um, I kept my mouth shut for the longest time. And then it's like with the Gabby Petito thing, I was like, I'm going to have to respectfully agree to disagree with you. And that's what I said. Because he's the one that said Gabby Petito deserved what she got. Right? I was like, dude, nobody deserves that.
That's messed up.
Right? So it's like, And he's like, well, me and my lady watched what was it, a Lifetime movie, and she just did this and that. And I'm like, you can't rely on a Lifetime movie, you know? It's not going to depict everything that actually went on or that.
I watched that Lifetime movie about her, and none of it was like
Accurate.
what. Yeah, I don't think any of it was accurate. I mean, it was a good movie, but it wasn't like what.
It was quite slanted towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is weird. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, so it's like I wasn't even there modding the night he said that, but I came in and modded the next chat, and people started flooding in, like, and I'm a mod going, okay, what's going on here? And people started going at him about that, and they're like, you can support him, you can support somebody who said that. I'm going to be honest, a lot of us say some stupid stuff out here sometimes, right? And that was
Yeah.
my train of thought. Like, well, he stepped into it, you know? And some of these other is watching a daytime soap. It is. And pick up exactly where you left off. That's right, Aussie. Well, the thing is, it's like, yeah, I was, um, I would say stuff here and there, and then he would get upset. Or you could say something talking in chat, and he's so late reading the chat that he'll jump your ass. Like, he'll get all offended. Uh, and you're like, wait a minute, you're like behind on what's going on in chat. Like, you don't even know what we're talking about, right? You're not keeping up. Hey, David. But I was like, okay, don't get offended. Like, like if I'm behind in chat, and I'm like, well, that's not quite what I'm trying to say. And then I'm like, I catch up with it, and I'm like, oh gosh, sorry guys, dingy moment. I'll admit when I'm like wrong about something. This guy, no, it's like he'll attack you and don't care. Like, he's always right. Nobody else is right. And that's why he has problems with people. So let's just say, I don't know, there was something that happened over in Krama. And I know a lot of people in Krama started fighting, and it was last summer. And so I did a live about it. I said, I'm not taking sides. You know what I mean? You know how I do not like a lot of drama or crap. I said, I'm not taking sides. And it was all female creators were fighting at the time, and all people that I liked. And I said, hey, I like every one of you. I'm not taking a side, you know. Um, and that's what my live was about. Well, he goes live, right? Because I didn't mention names, is what happened. I didn't mention names. And he went live and started dragging the shit out of me. Well, if you felt that way about me, you should have emailed me or told me. Like, dude, I said I wasn't taking sides with any of the ladies. You know, I mentioned ladies a couple times, that it was a group of ladies.
Right.
But somehow he turned it to some drama about him, and I'm like, dude, I wasn't even talking about you. Well, you need to be more clear about the things then, and call them out by name. Seriously, I do. I mean, they know who's fighting each other. They know who they are. Why do I need to point fingers? You know what I mean? So I told him to take my wrench, you know? And he's like, no, 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 no. And I'm like, nah. I think you need to take my wrench, that kind of thing. Like it did get like it was 45 minutes of me trying to get him to take my wrench. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. Like, and then he was like, oh, this is because I made peace with Lycan. And I'm like, I don't care that you made peace with Lycan. I'm glad you made peace with him. Your peace is your peace, man, and I'm happy for you. All I ever said was I wasn't going to participate when you did things together. That's all. I didn't say, you know,
I hate when you're friends with both people and they try to get you to take sides. That sucks because it just causes problems between all three of you, and then
yeah,
I don't like to take sides either.
exactly. I didn't want to take sides in that debacle, and it got bigger and more people started fighting. And I'm like, I'm just going to sit back here and stay out of it.
Hey, Willow Blossom, long
Hey,
time no
Willow.
see.
Yeah, I mean, life, but I mean, I have never known anybody who claims to be a life coach. It's not really coaching, not really doing, anything but arguing with people online about how he's right all the time. And it's like, it makes no sense. And it did, like, if you don't agree with him, you're mentally ill, or everybody's mentally ill. And it's like, you are not qualified, dude, to even you're not even you don't have the qualifications to diagnose that. And even if you did have the qualifications to diagnose that, you certainly shouldn't be doing it online. You know, you'll lose your license. See, people are saying hi, Teresa.
Yeah, I'm saying I was in. I've got my. I can't see chat on the phone that we're on, so I've got a spare phone that I'm watching chat, and so hi everyone.
Oh,
I
Silicone
was
says
about to
you're.
say hi to Tinky Zone. I think I said it wrong. Tinksy Tinksy Bell. Hi. I guess I pronounced it right. I'm sorry I butchered your name.
Oh my goodness, Aussie. It is a good question. The title is.
It's good to see you too, Blossom. I've missed you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. We're usually really calm and relaxed here, but I have to say something. The latest thing he's done. I mean, I didn't say anything when he went to the gig economy and he freaking ended up fighting with almost everybody in that, you know? He started making some really good connections and stuff, and he ended up fighting with everybody. Like stepping on toes, saying really rude things. It's yeah, no career, no life experience. Yeah, I know. It's insane. I mean, I don't understand that myself. Hey, Dave, good to see you, sweetheart. Anyway, so basically, this latest thing is with his biggest supporter, Jenny. Um, I have seen her around for over a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years, and she has always been supportive of Eli and always like donated. Um, there'd be days he didn't have anybody in his chat but Jenny, you know, and basically she's going through some personal stuff, and for him to humiliate her and shame her, about her personal things is wrong. It's detrimental and it can be harmful to her mental health. So, what kind of life coach does that? I'm, and I don't care if you hear me, Eli. What kind of man does that? What kind of human being does that? When somebody's going through it, I mean, you don't know. I mean, he says that she accused her husband of cheating without proof. Okay. How do you know that she doesn't have proof? How do you know there's not a history of it? How do you know that she didn't see something that she didn't share with the rest with people? It's not our business and it's certainly not yours. I mean, hi Hazy Train, welcome. Yeah, and I've talked to Silicone before. I've seen Silicone in your chat, Johnny. Seems like a solid person, you know? Always been nice to me. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, Hazy Train threw her away like garbage. He did. It's like, so he said all this rude stuff. And I mean, like, I don't blame him for leaving, and women are over emotional. Dude, this is so funny because I am like not that emotional. I mean, I admit it. I'm pretty calm and zen. Um,
I've seen
but
how. Oh, go
but
ahead.
him, but this guy, he goes off on the slightest thing, and he's like, "I'm not mad. I'm passionate." No, dude, you're yelling. You're yelling. That's not passionate. You're triggered. Okay, you're triggered. He oversteps a lot. Yes, exactly. And she wasn't trying to give out all her information. She just said things are, you know, not going great, but we're working on it or whatever. And it's like he makes it out like always that women are over emotional. Women are they don't appreciate their men, and I mean he is so misogynistic and sexist. It's ridiculous. I'm going to say it professionally and respectfully. Let's see. I don't care for him being streamed every single time. I wouldn't like it, but he seems to block his supporters a lot. It's true, Willow. He does. And the only reason I'm saying something is you don't go out and publicly shame a woman who's going through really hard times emotionally and say things like she needs to apologize to her husband. And then he said, maybe later on, something about fellatio. Maybe give him fellatio. Yeah, Teresa, can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Oh my gosh. And then basically said she was unstable and that good luck wasn't it something about being it he would end up with the kids. Like you're like he's the judge or something.
I don't know a whole lot about this, but I think I seen earlier where you were kind of talking a little bit about it. So I'm just listening to get
Yeah,
more.
caught up. Yeah, it's yeah, you don't do that to someone though that's going through yeah, like okay, for one, why give marital advice when you've never been married? Right?
Right.
Um who's going to go get marital advice from somebody who's 50, never been married, or or advice on raising kids when you've never had them? Hey, how's it going, Steph? Hey, Bones. I know I wouldn't. uh, like that's like taking advice from someone, like child rearing advice from somebody who got all their kids taken away. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
or didn't raise any, or lived in a as a monk. Yeah, I'm live, Himmy. About time you showed up, brother. Look, you finally showed up, T.
Hear me.
Our boy Himmy. Yes, he said she would end up homeless with no kids. Yeah, no, don't say that to someone that's going through a tough time. It just makes it worse. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy.
He's going to be up all night now.
I wonder if he's a satirical along troll lamps. No, he really is that clueless. I hate to say that, Willow. He really is that clueless because he does this, like that weird laugh, like.
That's true, Aussie.
Oh, early. Oh, okay. The cabbage rolls. You got to bring the food there, Dave. Or Hemi. Anyway, but it's ridiculous that he went and did that to that woman. And it's like when you're going through something that personal, for someone on YouTube to sit there and shame you and say all those things is beyond hurtful, and it is detrimental. And she's already in a vulnerable state. I mean, I usually don't bring up stuff like this because, well, that poor woman is going through a lot. And
Yeah, you can't kick someone, keep stomping them down while they're already down. You got to try to lift them up.
yeah, and you can't tell her, like, when you're not in the situation or you're not a qualified counselor that these people are talking to, keep your mouth shut, you know?
Exactly.
Unless they're a close friend that you're talking to, um, then you don't even put it out publicly. You know what I mean? Because what we don't even talk about, like stuff we talk about out here.
Yeah.
It's none of anybody's business. I mean, our private lives, and he does that.
I've learned a long time ago, keep your private life off YouTube because
People use it.
people use it.
Well, silicone. I heard like he keeps accusing silicone of being this guy named Brian. Okay, I'm like, I've never heard. I keep hearing him talk about that Brian, or is this person a figment of his imagination? Like he thinks there's this guy named Brian
Uh,
who's running around. No, seriously, Teresa. He keeps telling people there's this guy named Brian, and he's giving people thousands of dollars a month to harass him on his little bitty channel. Like, really? That'd be like somebody coming to harass me.
wow.
Yeah, like, oh, silicone's in here, you know.
Yeah, that's not me, Dave, though. I try to, I'm the same person on YouTube as I am in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I
you are.
I don't I don't try to be someone else. I mean, because
Yeah,
I'm just me.
right? We decided a long time ago that it takes too much effort to do something like that. Like
Yeah,
it,
it does.
and we're too old for that. Takes too much energy. Jamie and JB sponsor a few years ago. He quit sponsoring them. I thought he quit sponsoring them like years ago. Like, but that doesn't mean he's out here sponsoring everybody now just to go after Eli. I mean, is he that delusional? Sorry, that's very delusional to think that people are out to get him, just out to get him. Oh, at least 3 years. Thanks, Bernie. You're awesome. Bernie always comes in with the facts. I love Bernie.
Yeah,
Mm,
hear me. It takes too much energy to be someone else, and I ain't got that kind of energy.
yeah, I ain't got that kind of energy either. And it's like, and here's the thing: when you open your mouth and insert your foot all the time, like Eli does he not expect people to speak out? Like I kept my mouth shut, and I kept my mouth shut, and I kept my mouth shut, right? But it's like seriously, come on, dude. Doing this to people is not cool. And it's like this woman didn't. She freaking was there for him when nobody else was. You know. Another person he did wrong was Holly. Is it Holly's Hauntings? I think that was the name. And she was his mom for like a couple years, and he pretty much screwed her over. Yep, we have Willow. It's how we are. We're coin billion, coin billionaire. Yeah, silicone. This is a freebie. I mean, silicone gets accused of giving out everybody money to go against Eli or speak up when he does something really nasty or mean. And yes, that's below the belt what he did to this lady. And he brought up her kids. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, good point, Aussie. Well, I mean, come on. It's insane. Some of this stuff it's just, I mean, I could point out so much stuff. Yeah, Eli was jealous of Holly and Dawn's friendship. Yeah, that makes sense. Because they were real close. His girlfriend Dawn was real close to Holly. And I don't know. I was modding there at the time, but quite frankly, I didn't know all the comings and goings because I wasn't part of their inner circle. You know what I mean? I just showed up for chats once in a while, and that's it. So I never talked to him behind the scenes or emailed or messaged, nothing like that. So it was just strictly on YouTube, out in the chat, and that's it. So I didn't know how deep things went with a lot of things. Um, yeah, right. Come pick me up, Johnny. I want to go to Disney World too. But I mean, it made no sense. I mean, it's like I'm not getting into details about what he did to her, but it was pretty nasty. Like you don't sit there and basically she's going through this. She's already having issues with her husband. right? And for him to just say it's all your fault, it's all your fault. Well, she's probably already heard that from her husband, you know? She's already went through hell. Why is he putting her through hell too? He ain't in the marriage, and he needs to, shut the fuck up. Quite honestly, shut the fuck up about the woman's marriage. And yes, it was bad advice. Everything you said to her was horrible, bad advice. Okay, want her to apologize to her husband. Where's her apology? How about let them work it out? How about that? How about let them work it out and not get in the middle of it? Because it's none of anybody's business. Well, I'd break a hip, really? Like, break it over your head. Boom! Break your. Yeah. Of course, Johnny likes to call himself Snack Daddy. No. Rude. See, it's just how Johnny says rude that I love because he says rude. And I told him once he gets merch, he needs to do that. He needs to put that on a t-shirt. Rude. You'll design merch. What we're talking about is what Eli did to Jenny Sadler. Alpha Daddy Snacks. That's right. Alpha Daddy Snacks is like what he likes to call himself sometimes. Anyway, where is that? Oop. We're talking about that fool Eli and his bad advice. Oh my gosh. It's like it's a nightmare.
I've heard of him, but I don't know him. I don't think I've ever watched him.
It's like watching like a train wreck, honestly. It's he's one of those people that like he's always putting his foot in his mouth. Always. And I thought for the longest time he did that for clicks and views. But then I realized nobody could do that for 6 years and then like it be a not who he is. That's who he is. He puts his foot in his mouth all the time. He can't own his shit. He can't own up to anything he's done. His opinion's always the right opinion. Nobody else is allowed to have an opposing opinion. And everything's a conspiracy against him. Everybody's out to get him. You'll help thousands, please. When you're handing out money there. Yeah, I'm drinking. Oh.
Dave.
Dave is always funny. But a lot of people know him. A lot of people are probably going to Tammy's right now because Tammy's got the lowdown on this. And she's probably got the screenshots. She's probably got the everything to, to discuss that topic. I'm going to be honest. Because I don't normally handle like drama stuff, but man, when it goes into personal like that, and that's what he did. He wants to complain about people going real life on him. And people going real life on him and his girlfriend. Well, when you do that to people, oh my gosh, I'm not surprised. Don't be a hateful shit that won't come back on you. And then like I said, he says everybody's mentally ill, or they're like they suffer from different mental illnesses, and it's like, dude, just because they have a conflicting opinion. Anyway, you guys run over to Tammy's for that juicy information. run over to Tammy's. You'll get more of a lowdown on that, I guess. Um, the one he doesn't want to mention, like she's Voldemort or something. Yeah, yeah. It says really rude things about people with disabilities. It's like everybody's obese, everybody's uh, you know, worthless. But I'm gonna. He's life coach. Okay.
I don't think that I'll ever watch him if he body shames people and talks about people's disabilities because that's just not cool.
Well, he did it to Johnny, and he did it to Jenny's books and vlogs.
That's not cool at all
No, no.
because people can't help that,
Johnny's a good friend of
especially
mine.
with disabilities. They can't help something like that.
Well, Johnny's a good friend of mine, and I love him to death. Um, so it's like, no, you're not gonna do that to my buddy Johnny. Not cool.
No,
Hi, Joe. Um, yeah, it's a big trend there on the teams. I don't know, but it's like you can't shame people and hurt people like that. And it's like,
no.
and it's like talking it out one side of your mouth, because oh, these people went real life on me and Dawn, but then you're gonna go and you're gonna talk smack about Jenny's particular personal uh, business like that and shame her. It's like, oh my god, humiliating. It had to be humiliating, and that's not right. Not
That
right at
that right there makes me not like him at all, and I don't even know him, and I don't like him.
all. Yeah, exactly, and that's what I've stressed before. We are guaranteed freedom of speech, but also in that it also states, but you're not free from the repercussions of that speech. You know what I mean? So you put it out there, you better be able to, you know,
Yeah,
you do not, Johnny. You love me. That's nice to hear. Uh, my left arm, I don't use it much. Yeah, but it'd make it real difficult to get on the swim team if you removed an arm, right? But yeah, that's what he did. And I'm telling you, I was like cringing when I heard that. Oh my gosh. I was like, oh my gosh. And I never watch him, you know, because it's so cringy. Because every single live he does is arguing with people and like how they're wrong and he's right. And these people restream him. Well, yeah, people are restreaming you because other people don't want to give you the clicks and views, you know, and they're restreaming it like, oh my god, can you believe what this guy is doing? he's like, he's, I don't know, he'll slip up and he'll say some. he- He's always sexist, always sexist, always women this. Women are emotional. Women are not logical. Women, you know, are irrational. We don't think things through. And I'm like, really? Oh my god.
Was he taken down at one time?
Well, I mean, it's heartbreaking that you would do that to somebody who supported you for so long, you know? Somebody that was there for you through thick and thin, and to do that to them, you know? I don't know if this is for content or what that this is done. Mm. I lost Teresa. Other than that, anybody else have anything to add to this? I mean, have you all seen what he did to Jenny? You back, woman?
Yeah, my internet kicked me off.
Oh, wow. I was having problems with my internet earlier. You know how I had to take the box and return it yesterday, and then,
Yeah.
well, then from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon, it was down in the area. There was no internet service in the area. So it's like I just got my new box, and I got my internet working, and then it went down for maintenance or whatever. Anyway, y'all, if you want to discuss the whole Jenny thing, uh, Tammy's probably covering it. Um, anyway, Teresa and I are going to talk about something totally different now. Um, we're going to, here, you want to talk about it, girl? About the things that are
Uh,
going on?
yeah. How many of you guys are following the Sebastian Rogers case?
Don't everybody talk
Anyone
about
out there know anything about it? Yeah, I've talked to Timmy a little bit about it and Ginger a little bit, but I didn't know if any of you guys have been watching it or not. It's the craziest case I have ever heard of in my life. And I've told Ginger some about it. And so I guess that's what we were
Yeah.
gonna kind of get into a little bit.
Okay. He's missing, obviously. And did he leave the
Right.
house supposedly without his shoes?
Yeah, he supposedly walked out the door without his shoes on, and he hasn't been seen since. And it's been 100 days now.
And wasn't there a ring camera, but the ring camera didn't catch him?
Yeah, I watched a creator that's actually from the town that he's in, and she drove around his house at nighttime with her headlights off to show people how dark it really was. And the police actually said that they were walking up and down the sidewalk, and it's so dark there that the ring camera didn't pick it up. It didn't even pick the officers up walking up and down the sidewalks.
Oh, wow. So there's street lights, not, yeah,
There's no street lights where he's at. None.
jeez. So he could have been pulled out, walked out, whatever, at night, and nobody
Right.
would have, it wouldn't have picked it up.
It wouldn't have picked it up because it's so dark. I mean, it's so dark you can't see a foot in front of you.
Mm.
The dogs, um, they did pick up a scent, but they're saying now it was not his scent.
Was it somebody from the house?
They no, not that I'm aware of. It was a scent, but they don't know whose scent it was.
Hmm. Hold on. Keep
But they
talking.
are saying that it wasn't him. Um, what's going on now is the biological dad is s- sending out 50 cease and desist letters to YouTubers to stop talking about Sebastian, to stop bringing the, um, you know, well, letting people know about him, and also to stop talking, saying his dad's name.
Hmm.
And his dad now is saying that he wants $500 for each interview he does.
That's weird.
It is weird. And I think what it is I think he wants people to just stop talking. I don't think he wants Sebastian's word out there. In my opinion, he don't want him to be talked about because he don't want him found. That's my opinion.
That whole case is so weird. It,
It is weird.
it's like all these kids recently in the last couple years. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost biblical proportions of what is that slaughter of the innocents? It's just babies to us.
Yeah. All I want is I want him to be found and I want him to be safe.
Don Wells wanted 1K per interview. I tell you, when my daughter was missing, I certainly wasn't. Oh no, you guys, I'm not kidding. There's Mormons walking down the street. Yeah,
Hold on, let me go scream. Yeah, those are Mormons.
yeah, those are Mormons. Yeah.
I took one good look at them and they were definitely Mormons.
Well,
Hurry, close the door, lock it. The Mormons are walking down the street.
well, um, Seth has already had a GoFundMe up and he's made $25,000 off of it. And that doesn't count what he gets in Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. So he's made approximately almost $100,000 off his son. And now he wants $500 per interview.
Uh-uh. I know I was lucky. But you know what? I was beating feet every day looking for my kid. You know, I was taking leads. People were giving me leads to where a sighting, stuff like that, and I was following them up.
Yeah,
When you're, I mean, that's just if you want. I was getting on Facebook every night. I'd post a long post. Um, you name it. It was one of the most difficult things I went through. So I know what these
yeah,
parents go. As a parent, I know how hard it is, and I do know that sometimes people will come at the parents, um, like, why didn't you do a better job? Why, that kind of thing, and it's like, mm, yeah, they can be helpful, and that's how I found her. You know,
Well,
um,
speaking of leads, now
mm,
that you say that, he's got a guy is supposed to be his PR,
mm-hmm.
and He is telling everybody that if they have any leads on him, if they get any information on him, come to him with the leads and the information. Don't go to LE. And he is not going to take any of the leads or information to LE. He's going to go upon them himself.
Really?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, that kind of like, yeah, that borders interfering with an ongoing investigation, obstruction. I don't know. It just doesn't sound right. That's for sure. It doesn't sound right at all.
Right.
For PR, I mean, come on. They're out there talking about Mickey Mouse. Ah!
It's just sad that they're taking a young man's missing and they're doing all of this, and it just it
Well, you know,
saddens me.
it breaks my heart. Seriously, when we have things happening to our children, right? And that, and I'm not necessarily saying in this case with the, his, wanting interview money, that kind of thing. My most important point was when I was a parent of a child that was missing, my last concern was money.
Right.
My concern was finding my child, finding that child, like no matter what I had to do to find that child. That's what my concern was. It was not.
Exactly. I mean, I couldn't imagine, if I had a child and my child went missing, and
Hmm.
I just couldn't. I can see, shoot, my dog can run off and I'm going ballistic. I can imagine what it would be like with a child.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah. It's, you can't sleep, you can't eat.
Mm-mm.
Sure, Johnny, I'll call you. Um, you can't eat, you can't sleep. I had three other kids at home at the time. You know, um, because my oldest was already out on her own, and it was the second oldest. She was only 15 at the time, and so I had a 14-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old at home. So that 14-year-old, God bless him, would watch his sisters and take care of them while I was looking for the one that was missing. Every time I went on a lead, he would be the one to say, "Mom, you got to eat something. Mom, you got to do this. Come on, Mom. You know, you need to sleep at least a couple hours." I mean, he was bringing me a sandwich. You know what I mean? He was like, "Mom, come on." Like, and it wasn't that I was depressed or anything. It was I was scared out of my mind for my child.
You were scared. You were worried. You were all you could think about is trying to find your child.
Yeah, it wasn't focused on, hey, do I do interviews or do I do this? It was my feet were hitting the ground and there was always somebody at home in case she resurfaced, right? Um,
Exactly.
it was, yeah, it was, like I said, I had people I didn't even know reaching out to me. And by the stroke of God, the person that had her was cited. I got a tip that this guy drugged her basically and had her.
Yeah.
And, so um, I put it out there. I gave his name and everything to the police. Oh, yeah, we know about him. He has a history of this kind of thing. Really? Okay. Why isn't he behind bars? You know,
Right.
because the other cases, they ended up being dropped for other reasons. Whatever.
And the thing about this is the his mother, she's remarried, and her husband started getting death threats, and people, YouTubers, I'm going to tell you, it's been YouTubers circling their house, and they had to load up in their camper, and they went to another state close to where he worked because he had to go back to work. But his mom and stepdad stayed at their house in case Sebastian came back, so someone would be there. And they've got cameras pointing at their camper 24/7, watching every time they come in and out. They've got another YouTuber that's got a drone standing in front of their house, flying a drone around their house to see if there's cameras and stuff around it. And it's crazy. And they're blaming the mother of doing things to him, and it's crazy. There's no evidence that anybody of the parents or the stepdad even done anything to him. But the stepdad and the mother is the ones that's catching all the flack and catching all the blame. I'm not going to say the YouTubers' names. Everybody in here knows them, but I'm not going to say their names. It's bizarre. I've never heard of anything like this in my life. Oh, Ginger fell down. It's I just wish that he would hurry up. I wish that he would get found and everything. And I'm not, there's times that I hope that he's in a home right now, and I hope it's with people that's really taking really good care of him, because he don't need to come back to this nonsense. Because this boy is autistic, and he don't need to come back to all of this nonsense. Sometimes I wish that he's being safe, he's being cared for, and someone's really loving him. And I'm not saying his parents don't love him. I'm just saying that he doesn't need to come back to all of this crap that's going on. If you guys, and I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. See, that's the thing, Dave. Betty is in on this one now. Betty is come in on the Sebastian thing now. They've called her in. And I will say Betty's name because you already brought it up, but everyone already knows anyway. But they brought her in on it. He very well could be in a different state. Yes, absolutely. People's thinking that he might be in Texas, though. But yeah, he very well could be. And the only ones that's not causing the chaos is the people that's being blamed for hurting him. And that's his mom and stepdad. Maybe Ginger will come back up. I think she fell off. She'll get back up here in a minute. But I think that stuff like this shouldn't be happening whenever it involves a lost child. I'm surprised how many of that were removed from YouTube that went to Rumble. Yeah, exactly, Dave. I think she fell off Hemi, but she'll be back up here in a minute. I know that there's a lot of rough feathers getting ruffled right now. And it's sad that all of these YouTubers that are actually that could be true too, Dave. But it's just sad that this one parent is sending all of these letters out to YouTubers because he don't want them to put his name out no more. And like I said earlier, if it was me, I would want everyone to put my child's name out. If I had a child, I'd want everyone to put my child's name out and get my child's name out there.
Dude, my internet went down for a minute.
I know mine did that a few minutes ago. I think I had it the way it did it because of the way that my phone was laying and my internet lost lost connection, but now I've got full bars, so it shouldn't do that now. I tried to hold it up for you. No big deal. I think I made you lose some of your people, but they'll be back. You're back now.
Some tabs that might help, right?
I don't keep it from crashing now.
Yeah, there's a couple tabs I could close out. Poor Teresa. If I'm not pulling down, she is. Yeah, maybe Johnny called Ginger. Like, right? Uh,
So I seen a lot of new faces in here tonight, Ginger, that I haven't never seen before. Oh, she fell out again. She's having internet issues. She had gotten her internet fixed, and it was working really good for her. And now her internet's messing up again. Her internet keeps going out. She'll be back in just a second. No, I don't think it does, Hemi. Stick one foot out the window. You think that'll give her a better connection, Dave? I did, Hemi. I didn't do nothing at all, but I did have a good day. When you said you just woke up, I told Ginger, I said, "Yeah, you're taking my habits now. You're going to be up all night." She has long legs. I thought you had some motors to work on. Instead of doing your work, you slept all day. How dare you? Maybe when Ginger gets back up here, she'll be able to drop it. I don't know her. I used to be in the drama community whenever I first came to YouTube, and I left the drama community, I guess, for about a year or 2 years now. And I've been staying over in the true crime, so I really don't know anyone over here anymore. I know a few people that's still over here, but I'm not familiar with a lot of people over here now. Remember when you could lay in one position all night? Now you have to rotate like that. That's what I do, Dave. Exactly. That's exactly what I do. I guess that comes with getting old. Well, she did get it fixed. She had to get her a new modem and stuff, and when she got the new modem, it came in really strong.
Dude.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut down because I tried shutting it down and it wouldn't let me. So I'll talk to y'all later. Catch you on the flip side.
All right, Ginger. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.